Howdy, it's Jim Morado, and this is the middle of December 2024. We're in Leiper's Fork, Tennessee, and we are driving up to the Leiper's Fork Distillery. And this was maybe 10 miles, if that, outside of Franklin, Tennessee. We'll call this our bonus round of Franklin. Looked like a neat little town to swing out to for a few hours just to check it out. We had not been there before, and they had this distillery. So we stopped here. We thought we would take a tour. Very cozy cabin houses the place. They've got their main visitor center, and then they've also got their distilling area that you can go and tour. A basic tour was $12. A tour and tasting was $24. We really don't drink, so we opted for the cheaper tour, and we enjoyed that quite a bit. They did not allow videoing on the tour, but they were very nice, and I really liked them. I liked what they were doing. I still wanted to put up a video just to mention them and what they're doing here. And this ended up being one of those things that was not on our agenda when we left our home, but we went out to it, and it ended up being a highlight. We really enjoyed being here. They have a cat, a black cat, that roams around, and the cat is part of their logo. It is featured on their t-shirts and other merchandise, which I thought was sweet. And that cat has the run of the place. We would see them later outside. And they were decorated up for Christmas. Very cozy place. We talked to several people here that were, I think, locals that just like to hang out here, and I can understand why here in a moment. I'll tell you about that. And we started our tour, and that's Thomas. Really, really fun and friendly guy. Told us all about the place and gave us about a 1-hour tour, I'd say. And you can see some of the barrels of their product laying around, and you'll be able to see a little bit of some of their production area, and it's all basically right here in this very nice barn, very compact. They do store some of their barrels elsewhere, but it is a very small operation especially compared to what we've seen here in Kentucky, and it was very admirable. Pretty cool story about their vats there. There was a specific wood from Louisiana that they wanted for those vats, and you cannot harvest it anymore. It's illegal to harvest it. It's so rare. So there was a company that looked for it in some of the lakes in Louisiana, and that's how they got theirs. By the way, CSA on their vats. I thought they were very open about their Southern pride. That was not the case. Those vats were made by a company called Confederate Steel of Alabama, and they use that CSA logo. And they are no longer in business, but they were the company that helped them put those together. Of course, you saw some of the mash and some of the production area. We've done bourbon tours. We've done many bourbon tours, and we've seen the mash before. We were invited to go ahead and dip our finger in if we wanted to. It's never as exciting as it sounds, but anyway, Thomas showed us some more of the production area and talked about it. This is very small batch stuff, and they're pretty proud of that, as they should be. But they're making a small product. And I think he said there were 18 employees there, and it was a very family-type environment. Yeah, and you can even see kind of a little bottling area there. Again, this was a very cool tour. Oh, and then he took us in. This is where they usually do the tastings, but he told us a little bit more about some of their products, what they do, how it's made, some of the history of the cabin. And there is a link to one of the Daniels family, who they didn't realize this until later, but he is a third cousin to Jack, so they actually have a little bit of a connection to Jack Daniels there. Anyway, I've skipped a lot of stuff. Again, it was a 1-hour tour. You need to go there and take their tour when you're in Franklin or near Nashville. However, you should stick around after your tour and go out back. I assume they do this on weekends. I don't know if this was just a special weekend or what. But they had some fires going, and they had a little area where you could order drinks. They also had a taco food truck and a cheesecake food truck. And this guy right here, and that is Chef Robert Norick, Norrick. He does Echo's Tacos, and he was there. And those are some of the best tacos I've had in my life. I am not kidding. It was wonderful. I also had Cheesecake Society, give a cheesecake in a jar. So we ordered those, and then we sat around the fire, had a great time, talked to some locals. We got to see that cat again. And this was just cozy. This was a really nice thing to do on a winter day. And it was cold, but the fires were going. The staff was keeping the fires up. It was a little smoky, but I kind of enjoy that myself. And then if you wanted to drink, you could have a nice drink made for you over there. And there's a couple more looks around the area. Obviously not a big crowd, which there should have been. I wanted to mention the tacos again. Chef Robert Norick does not have a huge online presence that I could find, but those tacos were something special. And next time I'm in this area, I'm going to try to find out where he's going to be. The tacos were $5 each, or 3 for $14, I think. My wife and I shared 3, and we had already had lunch. But and then I thought about going back to get some more. They were incredible. The cheesecake was also really nice. They served it in a little jar. I kept that as a souvenir. I'll put some guitar picks or something in it. But this was just a really nice experience, and we're still talking about Leiper's Fork Distillery. We left the distillery, we drove 2 or 3 miles down the road, and they have kind of a main little downtown area. It was crowded. Look at the cars. We were on a bit of a time crunch, so we doubted that we would stop anyway, but we decided we did not want to. We wanted to get on back to Franklin and enjoy Franklin. Definitely want to come back here on another day when it might not be so crowded, but they have some little shops here. In fact, Thomas and some of the other staff at Leiper's Fork recommended a restaurant and a couple of shops up here. But this is a place that you obviously want to come to and check out, and we did not have time. But we did a quick drive through, and I would just thought I'd put it on here at the tail end of this video for you to check out. So yeah, we did Leiper's Fork and Leiper's Fork Distillery, just kind of as a few-hour side trip from Franklin. And we're glad we did that. And one of the Franklin visitor guides, they recommended, I think, 5 other towns that are nearby that you can go to and sort of enjoy a side trip. So we picked this one, and we were glad that we did.
You want to go to the wood sculptors?
Anyway, have you been to Leiper's Fork? Have you been to Leiper's Fork Distillery? I'd love to hear from some locals or some other tourists like myself who have gone out there and see what they think. What did I miss? What else is there to do in Leiper's Fork that I need to make sure I hit next time? Really enjoyed the distillery. I can't recommend them enough. It was a nice, easy, pleasant little side trip. So anyway, thanks for watching.